Hey guys, I'm out here in the good old Arizona desert again today, and I'm ready to start round 2 of my experimental reduction firings. Oh man, I can't believe it's already been a week since my last test firing. I went a little crazy this week and made some new pots. This is my jar that I made that's going to be going into this test firing. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to be doing a few things a little bit different that I noticed may have contributed to last time's results, and hopefully this time we'll have a little bit more success. Each time brings me a little bit closer and closer to my goal. So let's get started. And as always, the first thing I like to do is start digging a little pit. All right, and as you can see, this Arizona desert soil sure holds its moisture pretty well. I wasn't expecting it to be this damp. It's been a few weeks since it's rained, so that's kind of a good sign for these plants that are around here that they're going to be thriving until early spring at least. But I don't know about the pottery. Moisture is never good for that kind of stuff. But as you can see, I've got here this decent sized pit. It's not too deep, not too crazy. This could be the Goldilocks, just right type of size pit. I've got it funneled out to let some air flow in, the usual. Nothing too different compared to that last firing that I did, so that I want it to be about the same. I got some nice temperatures on that. So the next thing to do is just to collect some wood for this pre-firing and get moving right along. All right, and here's my lineup for today. Got some neat looking scoops. I'm using an experimental paint on this guy. It's hematite, a little bit more clay in it, but I'm using a different kind of clay. Trying to make it a little bit darker, hopefully. This uses the same clay I've been using right here for a while. And then I've got my jar right over here. I know guys, this is crazy. I've only got one spindle I'm putting into this fire, but that's how it is. I'm using that experimental paint on this one as well. So that's the good old lineup right there. Can't wait to see how these guys turn out. Well, this is looking pretty good. We got our fire burned out pretty much. Still going a little bit. Got some usual pottery furniture right here to elevate these guys up on. Nothing too crazy. Set that there like so. Kind of, oh boy, I don't know about that. And then maybe something right there like so. Nope, that's not gonna work. Yeah, you know what, that should be good enough for these pottery sherds. I like that. So I've got all my pottery set up here on some pottery furniture, and the sherds are all laid out. I didn't go too crazy with the cover sherds this time. I do want to allow for some adequate air to flow through, make sure everything gets oxidized real well before I smother this thing out. I think this looks pretty decent. All I've got to do now is finish cutting up a little bit more wood, start stacking the wood, and light this puppy on fire. So I've got it stacked pretty dense. We're ready to light this guy up. Oh boy. Nothing like field equipment malfunctioning. Oh, there we go, guys. Oh, beautiful. That looks really nice and black. I sure hope it stays that color. That is just beautiful. Oh. Wow, that got pretty wild pretty fast. I noticed some of the black started to turn a little bit on the reddish side. It was getting too cool on that jar in a certain area. So I had to scramble to quickly bury this crazy thing. I got a bad feeling about this one, but it's pretty well buried. I'm hoping that the internal heat, though, will heat it back up a little bit to turn those reds a little bit black again. But definitely on the side closest to this camera is where the trouble started to begin. We'll see what happens, though. We got about 3 hours to kill. So I think I'm gonna go look around, burn some time. We'll come back in a little bit, guys. Oh, and I forgot one important thing. I started to smother this fire when it was in the low 600s. So that could be another factor into why it started to turn red. But I got my fingers crossed. So this has been sitting for a little bit over 2 hours now. Should be pretty cool. I'm getting some temperature readings while I was digging up the main surface of it at around 90 C. Nothing too crazy hot, but it is still pretty warm. So I got my gloves on here. I'm just gonna start to uncover some of the pottery sherd here. Oh wow, that is pretty black. Oh man. I don't really see any cracking on this yet. Oh wow. That's beautiful. Have to get that cleaned up. Oh nice. Oh, this is definitely always my favorite part. I feel like an archaeologist with this stuff. Come on. Yeah, I got some carbon on the bottom, but oh, whoa. That looks pretty decent. And there's the jar. Oh, come on, guy. Ooh. Wow. I don't see any visible cracking on it. Oh, this one. This might have been a good success, this one. I don't know. I hope this isn't fugitive paint, though. Oh, man, this is cool. Well, guys, that sure was awesome. I think I'm finally making some progress on these reduction firings. Oh, boy. Just check these scoops out. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, my goodness. I'm gonna get home and get these cleaned up, but these whites are already looking beautiful. And the blacks on here. This guy right here used some experimental paint. I mixed a little bit of hematite and some other odd ends with it, and I'm not too impressed right now. Maybe it'll look better when it gets a little bit cleaned up, but it definitely lost some of its black. This one uses just a clay and hematite mix. I wish I could find a really good red clay to work with, because I have a feeling that's going to be the secret to making this super dark black, but you can definitely see the difference in the two. Oh, that's just so beautiful. I'm really happy right now, guys. And of course, we can't forget the star of this show today. Oh, look at this jar. This is so beautiful. I've got a little bit of the red coming back, just a little bit on the top here, but overall the rest of this is just black as black can be. I'm gonna get home again and get this all cleaned up, but wow, I'm pretty happy with this right now. All right, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's experimental reduction firing. It sure was a blast. Oh man, nothing like a bit of success, that's for certain. Well guys, thanks so much for watching. Till next time, my friends.